Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning into my first video of 2016. I hope you all had amazing Christmases and your 2016s have gotten off to great starts. This video is going to be about my favourite class and also my favourite topic at LSE. So I'm going to be giving you a breakdown of my course and telling you a bit more about what has made me really enjoy my academic life here. In regards to economics, this is the first year in which there's been a split in the sense that there's EC 102 and EC 100. People do EC 102 if they've done economics A-level like me. If they haven't, then they do EC 100. In the first term, we basically did all of our microeconomics and we had an exam for it in January, and now we've just started doing macro. For me, this has sort of meant that the learning curve has been less steep when I compare it to philosophy, just because I've never done philosophy before, whereas economics I did it for A-level, so not all of the concepts have been unfamiliar to me. Although having said that, I do really enjoy economics, especially as we learn concepts that don't seem economical sort of at face value, like learning about whether someone's likely to take a gamble or not. In terms of favourite class, I just couldn't pick one, so my joint two favourite classes are my logic, which is PH 101, and my reason, knowledge and values, which is PH 103 classes, both of which are philosophy modules. Logic is basically concerned with how to reason correctly, so quite a lot of the logic we do involves formalising normal arguments and putting them into lesser arguments, so basically if P then Q type things. I find it interesting because it's helped me to identify arguments much more easily, and it's also made my reasoning skills much more effective, which I think are very important when it comes to going into the world of work. Another great thing about logic is that my lecture was actually taught by Karl Popper at LSE, which is incredible considering Popper was one of the most revered philosophers of the 20th century. So on to reason, knowledge and values. The course is essentially an introduction to philosophy because most of us haven't studied it before. It's one of my favourite classes just because of the sheer breadth of the topics that we learn. For example, time and whether it flows, and do we have free will, and is it possible for humans to have genuine knowledge. I really do enjoy the course because we have lots of opportunity to debate, which is great because it encourages you to think on your feet. My favourite topic so far has also been the one that I found the most challenging, which is time and whether it flows. I found it interesting because I've never really considered the topic before, and since I've studied it, I can't stop thinking about it. I found it challenging because some of the readings have been very dense and it's taken me a long time to go through, but yeah, it's certainly one of my favourite topics that we've done. So Dr Heather, what do you think is special about philosophy at the LSE?
The philosophy at the LSE has a very distinctive and very distinguished history. It began with Sir Karl Popper and was continued by Imre Lakatos, so they're both very distinguished philosophers of science. So philosophy at the LSE is very much connected to scientific thinking, which makes it very different from how philosophy is studied at other universities.
So how do we study philosophy at the LSE?
At the LSE we are very encouraging of active and independent thinking. We like to get our students actively thinking in the classroom. So we develop exercises and questions that they can work on together in groups. We tend to discourage solitary armchair philosophising at the LSE.
Thank you so much for watching my video, guys. I hope you found it useful and it's answered any questions you may have had about my course. Please do carry on watching my videos. They're going to be lots more released about different topics. Thanks again.